Hey everybody. Spirit led me to do something new. I've been trying to figure out how to, you know, post things, figuring out how to do the video editing and all that. And I'm teaching myself here. So yeah, but I want to do monthly readings, just like a general guidance, not necessarily predictions, because you have free will. So it's like if I'm like a radio. So if I'm tuning the spirit at one given point in time, I'm picking up whatever, energy messages come through at that particular point in time. And you also have free will. So whatever I do say, it's up to you to actually, you know, make it happen whichever way. It's just guidance, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily predictions, but think of it more like a story, so like I draw the cards and spirit kind of unfolds the story out to me, and whatever other impressions that I get from spirit, I'll also bring those forth as well. So it's so this reading is for February 2021, and the title is Love is the Law of the Land. And as I go into the reading, you'll understand why I picked that title. But basically, it's the first card is talking about the beginning of February. The second part is talking about possible endings, or how the energy that we're going to be leaving out of February into March with. And the third card, or the last card, is going to be a message from the angelic realm. So without further ado, let's get moving forward with the first card. Okay, so this is the first card that I drew, and this card represents the beginning of November. So this is Page of Swords. Swords relate to the element of air. So that's the signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, some keywords about this that relate to this card. So think of youth, intellect, truth, justice. Okay, this card also represents presenting your thoughts and ideas out into the world. With this card, it's basically talking about there's a feeling of, trying to find our way. Like, we have a lot of ideas and things that we want to do in order to move forward, but we're still trying in the planning stages of that, per se. So it's like, oh, I have an idea, or I have a vision, and I want to make it happen, but I need to plan it out, do research in order to make that, the vision become a reality, if that makes any sense. So this is kind of like what's going to be going on in the middle of the month. And, there's like a lot of things going on about what is it, if, that you're looking to start. What goals do you want to do for this year? What are some of the things that you want to make manifest? Things that you want to achieve this year, those kind of thoughts. So February is kind of like a good time, or that kind of energy will be in the air for people to start putting what they want to manifest out there, for better or for worse. So it's like, if you're putting bad energy out there, be mindful of the words that you say, because words are energy. So whatever you put out there, like if you keep put out there, oh, I can never do this, or it's impossible, or oh, I can never be a singer, everyone's gonna laugh at me, and you know what I mean? Like, do what you can to be mindful of the thoughts and energies that you put out into the universe, All right, so let's move on to the next card. Okay, so these cards represent the end of February and the energies around that. Now, normally I only pull one card at a time, but sometimes when other cards fall out the deck or they pop out, I like to read those in as well, as kind of like a booster to the cards that I did draw. So these 3 cards came out, and so you have Knight of Cups. So this is kind of like fire and water. These corresponds to the dates of February 9th to the 28th. So basically right on the border of Aquarius and Pisces, and basically most of the months of February. The next card is the Emperor. This represents Aries. Okay, so immediately some keywords that correspond to this card are order out of chaos. Okay, visionary leadership, and ruling through logic and reason versus emotion. All right, and the last card here is the Ten of Cups reverse. It doesn't. Some people look at reverse cards and automatically think of a negative meaning. It doesn't necessarily have a negative meaning, but the Ten of Cups has Mars and Pisces energy, so it's basically about pursuit of an idea or a dream. It's like, okay, we have a vision, we have a dream, and we're gonna do everything we can, we're motivated to make that dream reality. So the couple keywords that came to mind with this card is taking up new hobbies, doing charity work, teaching others skills that we've learned, usually teaching like mentorships, apprenticeships, things like that. So February kind of is an idea about love, giving back, and being in a heart-centered space and ruling from a place of the heart, like compassion, humanitarianism, making sure that we're looking after one another, like especially now with like Corona and stuff like that. People are wanting to connect to one another, and we're really starting to think about how we, interact with one another, the language that we use, what kind of society that we're living in, and if we like the way things are, or do we want to make it better? So those are some of the things that I'm picking up from this reading. Okay, and this is the angel card that I pulled. It's a message from the angelic realm. Okay, so it reads, clear your vibes, and it's talking about Archangel Metatron. It says, thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. Okay, and for those that don't know, Archangel Metatron is a archangel of spiritual enlightenment, and he serves as kind of as a reminder for humanity to remember to remember our own divinity and our own power to evolve and enlighten ourselves, to tap into our own divine power. And the backstory with Archangel Metatron is that he used to be a human, and angels and humans are two different species. So it's extremely humans don't become angels, angels don't become humans. But Archangel Metatron, I believe, and it's according to the Bible, he used to be a man called Enoch, and he was transformed into an angel. You can look that up if you're more interested in that. I like to keep the reading short and sweet, but I can definitely go into a whole tangent about that. But yeah, so in summary, Archangel Metatron is talking about clearing away things that prevent us from evolving and having spiritual enlightenment. So that could be self-defeating thoughts, or negativity, negative energy, whatever barriers or mental barriers, emotional barriers that keep us on a lower vibration, such as fear, anxiety, paranoia, anything like that. It's more about clearing, like raising your vibrations so that you can be in a more loving space of love and light and godliness, divinity. So that's what this card is basically talking about here. All right, and to wrap up everything, so we talked about all the different cards. So my takeaway from this is that February is definitely going to be a time where we'll start seeing a change to a more compassionate space, and especially a lot that's going on with the coronavirus. And I know people are kind of demanding the government, especially, well, I'm in the United States, but I'm sure there's a lot of places around the world too, especially if you go look at like Myanmar, and there's lots of changes. Like there's people are calling the shots versus a lot of what it was before. Like there's like kind of a new era approaching where the greater good is coming into play, where it's like the power is going back to the collective versus a few people calling all the shots and enriching themselves. So what we're going to start seeing now is that people are really going to start coming from a place of wanting connection, to being together, a place of love, not necessarily romantic, even though I know it's February and Valentine's Day is coming up, but it's more of a love for humanity, love for each other. It's like people have been separated in quarantine, and talking through Skype and Zoom or whatever, but now people are really going to start valuing their relationships, or looking at their relationships and saying, okay, am I being supported? Am I being emotionally supported? Am I being empowered by my relationships? And if I'm not getting these deep, meaningful connections with people, then what am I doing here? So that's kind of going to be on the idea of what on people's minds now, especially in our leadership too. It's more like we want leaders that are compassionate, are empathetic, and I think that you're going to start seeing politicians and people in power sort of have this, more thinking of the greater good and thinking about how can we serve the people and take care of one another. And there's really going to be a push behind it. The Ten of Cups kind of confirms that this is the way that the collective conscious is moving towards. It's like we're getting out of this dog eat dog mentality to a more, okay, what can we do for the greater good of everyone? Like what can we do so that we all can eat, so that we all can be taken care of, and we take care of our land and take care of our our young people or our older people. You know what I mean? Like how can we coexist in the world and all of us be happy? So that's kind of what I took away from this reading. And thank you so much for letting me read for you all. Please check out my YouTube channel. It's Sean DeRay. You can hit me up if you want a more personalized reading. Definitely contact me. I'll be happy to discuss that with you. And so hope your February is as blessed and enjoyable as possible. And take care. And see you in the next one. Take care.